Good morning, everyone, and thank you for being here today. I'm Dr. S.K. Singh, and I'm excited to share with you our discussion on the top 10 common adulterations in herbal products. In this presentation, we'll explore the various ways herbal products can be contaminated or adulterated, how to identify these issues, and what steps can be taken to ensure safety and authenticity. Let's get started. Herbal products have been used for centuries in traditional medicine, and today they remain incredibly popular because people see them as natural and safe options. However, with the growing global demand for herbal medicines, supplements, and cosmetics, there's been a concerning rise in adulteration. Adulteration basically means that genuine herbal materials are being substituted, supplemented, or contaminated with inferior or even harmful substances. This not only reduces the effectiveness of these products, but can also pose serious health risks. The main reasons behind adulteration are often economic. For example, some medicinal plants are costly or hard to find, which encourages manufacturers or suppliers to use cheaper alternatives to cut costs. Sometimes, adulteration happens unintentionally, like misidentifying plant species or lacking proper knowledge during collection and processing. Common forms of adulteration include mixing similar-looking plant parts, adding artificial colors or chemicals to make products more appealing, and diluting extracts to increase volume. Understanding these common adulterations is crucial. It helps ensure that herbal products are safe, of high quality, and effective. Raising awareness about these issues can empower consumers and manufacturers to choose and produce authentic, reliable herbal medicines, supporting the overall goal of safe and effective herbal health care. Let's talk about why adulteration occurs in herbal products. One of the main reasons is the high demand for certain medicinal plants combined with their limited availability. This creates an economic incentive for some suppliers to substitute expensive herbs with cheaper or more readily available materials, aiming to boost their profits. So, especially with costly herbs, there's a higher risk of intentional adulteration. However, not all adulteration is deliberate. Sometimes, it happens unintentionally due to misidentification of plant species, or because of a lack of proper knowledge and training during collection and processing. Poor quality control, improper storage, and contamination during handling also contribute to the problem. On top of that, weak regulatory enforcement and the absence of standardization in the herbal industry make it easier for adulterated products to slip into the market. So, in summary, both intentional and unintentional factors come into play, ultimately affecting the quality, safety, and effectiveness of herbal products we rely on. Let's talk about the different types of adulteration we might encounter. First, there's intentional adulteration, which is done deliberately for economic gain. For example, someone might mix cheaper plant materials or synthetic substances into a product to increase volume or reduce costs. This is a calculated move to deceive consumers and increase profits. Next, we have unintentional adulteration. This usually happens due to a lack of knowledge or misidentification. For instance, collecting the wrong plant species because of confusion or mislabeling can lead to unintentional adulteration. It highlights the importance of proper identification and knowledge in ensuring product purity. Then, there's substitution adulteration. This occurs when a genuine drug or ingredient is replaced with a similar-looking but inferior or different one. An example would be using other plant leaves that look similar to the original herb, but have lesser medicinal value. It's a sneaky way to pass off something inferior as authentic. Finally, we have adulteration with artificial substances. This involves adding chemicals to enhance the product's color, taste, or appearance. A common example is adding dyes to turmeric to make it look brighter and more appealing, but this can be harmful if the chemicals are toxic. Understanding these types helps us recognize the different ways adulteration can occur and emphasizes the need for vigilance in ensuring product integrity. Now, let's continue exploring different types of adulteration that can occur in herbal products. One common form is adulteration with exhausted drugs. This happens when plant materials are reused after their active constituents have been removed. For instance, you might find ginger or clove powder that has already been used and then reprocessed, which obviously compromises the quality and potency. Another type is adulteration with foreign matter. This involves mixing in dust, sand, stones, or other debris. A typical example would be soil particles found in dried herbs, which not only affects purity but can also pose health risks. Then we have adulteration by using inferior quality material. This means low-grade or damaged plant parts are mixed in, such as old herbs or those infected with fungi. This kind of adulteration directly impacts the efficacy and safety of the herbal product. Finally, there's adulteration by addition of synthetic drugs. Sometimes, modern medicines like steroids are added to herbal formulations to artificially enhance their effects. While this might seem beneficial at first glance, it raises serious concerns about safety, authenticity, and the true nature of these products. All these practices highlight the importance of proper quality control and authentication in herbal medicine, ensuring that consumers receive safe and genuine products. Now, let's take a closer look at some common adulterations found in these spices. Starting with black pepper, a frequent adulterant is papaya seeds. The reason for this is their similar appearance, which makes it easier to pass off cheaper seeds as genuine pepper. You might find mixed seeds in batches, which is a clear sign of adulteration. Moving on to saffron, one of the most expensive spices, it's often adulterated with dyed corn silk or safflower. These are added because they look similar to real saffron threads, but are much cheaper. Sometimes, artificially colored threads are sold as saffron, which can be quite misleading. Next, ginseng is another example. Adulterants here are usually other plant roots or fillers like starch. Since genuine ginseng is costly, these cheaper roots are used to replace or dilute the real product. Fake ginseng capsules often contain starch or other fillers to increase weight and profits. Let's not forget ashwagandha, which can be adulterated with other plant roots such as ipomoea. The goal is to increase the bulk or weight of the powder, making it seem like more than it actually is. For example, powders might be mixed with cheaper roots to deceive consumers. Finally, turmeric, a common spice used worldwide, is sometimes adulterated with toxic chemicals like lead chromate or metanyl yellow. These are added to enhance the color, giving the turmeric a bright yellow hue, but they pose serious health risks. In summary, adulteration is a significant issue across various spices, often motivated by the desire to imitate the genuine product while reducing costs. Understanding these adulterants helps us become more aware and cautious about what we consume. Now, let's move on to slide 7, which discusses aloe vera and its common adulterants. One of the main issues here is the use of artificial gels or water dilution. These are added to increase the volume of the product, often at the expense of quality. For example, you might see diluted aloe vera juice that contains preservatives but lacks the real aloe vera properties. This kind of adulteration is primarily aimed at increasing yield and reducing costs, but it compromises the therapeutic benefits that consumers expect. Understanding these adulteration practices is essential because they directly impact the efficacy and safety of herbal products. It's a recurring theme throughout this presentation, how unscrupulous practices can undermine the integrity of medicinal plants and their traditional uses. Recognizing these signs helps us ensure we're getting genuine, high-quality products. Detecting adulteration in herbal products is absolutely essential if we want to ensure their safety, quality, and effectiveness. There are several methods we can use to identify the presence of adulterants. One of the simplest is organoleptic evaluation, where we rely on sensory characteristics like taste, smell, and appearance. Microscopic analysis allows us to examine the cellular structure and identify any foreign particles or contaminants. Physical methods involve assessing the properties like weight, volume, or appearance to spot inconsistencies. Chemical analysis is a powerful tool that helps us detect specific chemical markers or contaminants, ensuring the product's purity. Biological methods, on the other hand, use biological assays or tests to verify the authenticity of the herbal ingredients. DNA barcoding is an increasingly popular technique that helps us confirm the species' origin, preventing substitution or mislabeling. Chromatographic techniques, such as HPLC or GC, are used to separate and identify the various compounds present, providing detailed chemical profiles. All these detection methods work together to maintain the authenticity of herbal products. They're vital not just for ensuring quality, but also for protecting consumers from harmful or ineffective substances. Ultimately, these techniques help us uphold trust in herbal medicines and ensure they deliver the benefits they promise. Adulteration not only compromises the safety of herbal products, but also their efficacy, meaning they may not deliver the intended health benefits. This highlights the critical need for strict quality control measures and raising awareness among consumers about what to look for. It's important that consumers buy from trusted sources to ensure they're getting genuine products. In conclusion, adulteration in herbal products is a serious issue that can undermine their safety and therapeutic value. Whether the adulteration is intentional or accidental, it can significantly reduce the medicinal benefits and even pose health risks. As demand for herbal medicines continues to grow globally, so do the opportunities for adulteration to occur. That's why implementing proper identification techniques, advanced detection methods, and strict quality controls is essential. Everyone, regulatory authorities, manufacturers, and consumers, has a vital role to play in minimizing adulteration. By raising awareness and choosing authentic herbal products, we can help ensure these traditional medicines are safe and effective for all. For further support, please don't hesitate to reach out. If you have any questions or need additional information, I'm here to help. Just contact us through the provided details. Thank you so much for your attention and engagement today. I truly appreciate your time, and I hope you found this presentation valuable. Remember, we're always available to assist you as you apply these concepts. Thanks again, and have a great day.